Alright, we will get going here in just a few minute or so. Allow a few people to join in. Alright, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jacob Melton coming to you live here in the Southern Michigan Weather Center. And just within the last 10 minutes or so, a tornado watch has been issued, which does include some of our Michiana border counties. In this case, that would be Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch counties. It also does extend south into portions of northern Indiana and also northeastern Illinois. The primary hazards with this tornado watch, in addition to the possibility of a couple spin up tornadoes, we also are going to be watching for potentially widespread damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and also some scattered ping pong ball size hail. Can't be ruled out, except we think that will be earlier before these line of storms congeal into a line as they approach our area over the next few hours. We do have radar up, and you can see we have some non-severe elevated activity over northern lower. That's going to be not much more than some heavier rain, some lightning, maybe some small hail, but nothing severe up there. Looking off to our southwest, though, we do have a developing line of storms with severe warnings already in effect across eastern Illinois, and we expect this line of storms to continue to strengthen, as I will highlight what we're looking at here. Give me just a second. This is our complex or line of strong to severe thunderstorms that we've been talking about. It was expected to develop this afternoon, and it will continue to lift off to the east and northeast towards our region over the next couple of hours. Most likely somewhere in probably the 3, 4, 5 o'clock time frame is when we're expecting it to reach portions of southwest lower Michigan. Again, we still believe the primary threat with these storms will be damaging wind gusts, numerous to potentially widespread damaging wind gusts of up to 60 to possibly as high as 75 miles per hour. In fact, it looks like a tornado warning actually just popped up near Champaign, Illinois, and that's the next threat we're going to mention. In addition to some large hail, I don't think large hail is going to be a particularly big issue, but we can't rule out a few large hail reports. And again, with that tornado warning just issued in Champaign, Illinois, we will have to watch for the potential of maybe a few isolated brief spin-up tornadoes. This is not a massive, violent, long-track type tornado day, not by any stretch. But we will have to watch for a few brief spin-ups within the line, which within the widespread swath of damaging winds. Let me go ahead and clear out this. We'll hit finish, and we're going to take a quick look before we go. Let me take a look at surface temperatures. Oops, let me get radar back up. And as you can see, there's a dividing line of where you could see the big difference in temperatures between like south of M46 and north of M46. That is because of a warm front that I will illustrate This is not going to be exact, but our thinking is it's some set up something like this. That is not exact, likely not exactly what we're looking at, but it's a similar idea. And we expect this to continue to possibly lift a little bit more to the north. And what we've been mentioning is what we mentioned in yesterday's evening's update was the M46 corridor is where we expect this warm front to eventually set up. And that still looks to be the case. And it is anywhere near and south of the warm front that we will have to especially pay attention for potential severe weather throughout the afternoon and evening hours. North of the warm front, any storms will be elevated, and if anything would probably be a hail threat, maybe an isolated wind gust or two, but mainly a marginally severe hail threat. But along and south of the warm front is we will have to pay attention for primarily damaging wind gusts, but also some large hail and maybe a spin-up tornado or two. And we will have to pay attention not only to this line of storms, but also any storms that may attempt to develop ahead of the line, as that will carry a little bit more of a large hail and possibly a isolated tornado threat. While the line will primarily be numerous and potentially widespread damaging wind gusts, and maybe brief spin-up tornadoes as well. We will have to watch any storms that does set up along this, that may interact with this warm front, wherever it ends up setting up, is that warm front will help provide a little extra spin within the storms that may help cramp down an isolated tornado. Again, tornadoes are not the biggest threat out there today, but can't rule out an isolated one or two. But our main threat is the potentially widespread damaging wind gusts between 60, possibly 70, and maybe an isolated 75 mile per hour wind gust can't be ruled out. Again, we expect this developing line of thunderstorms to move into southwest lower Michigan sometime in the 3, 4, 5 o'clock at the latest time frame. And it will quickly lift off to the east and northeast through our area and will likely be out of the region by the 10, 11 o'clock time frame at the latest, if not a little bit sooner. Again, a tornado watch, before we sign off here, let me just overview where we're at. A tornado watch has been issued for Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch counties. And that tornado watch is in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. We do expect a severe thunderstorm watch will likely come out at some point in the not too distant future for areas north of the tornado watch. That does not mean you might not see a brief spin-up tornado or two north of the tornado watch. It's just there's a little bit higher confidence in the brief tornado potential within the tornado watch area. That's why the tornado watch was issued. We expect a severe thunderstorm watch to come out for areas north of the tornado watch, primarily for numerous and potentially widespread damaging wind gusts and possibly some large hail, although that's also not the biggest threat, especially once these storms congeal into a line. So the main thing we're really worried about is damaging wind gusts between 60 to possibly 75, possibly an isolated 75 mile per hour wind gust, but mainly between 60 and 70 miles per hour. Alright, so that about is everything for now. We will continue to be monitoring things here in the Weather Center throughout the afternoon and evening. I will be back here live on YouTube if we get, like, for example, the severe thunderstorm watch that I have a feeling will be coming relatively soon. We'll be back here live. And we will also be live for updates with any severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued. And although the likelihood is not particularly high, if any county in our area ends up under a tornado warning, we will be here live non-stop until the danger is past. So be weather aware this afternoon and evening. Make sure you have multiple ways of getting watches and warnings. And stay tuned with us here, as we will also be here as conditions warrant. This is Jacob Melton coming to you from the Southern Michigan Weather Center. I'm going to sign off for the moment. I will probably be back later this afternoon and evening. Just stay tuned to Southern Michigan weather. We will keep you advised.